refrigerators full of women.
Goat's milk latte drinking.
Here you go again.
Please clap.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body.
A what now?
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
Where my banana fingers?
That's a banana republic without the banana.
Who am I? Why am I here?
Are you a racist?
He's a jackass.
Pokemon go to the polls.
They know one thing. I hate rats.
Well, I'm not a crook.
I grew up castrating hogs.
4 glorious years, I guess.
Vote to confirm a ham sandwich.
Ooh, don't do it.
Still like beer? 20-foot impressive seahorse he's riding.
Correct. It's too damn hot.
What do you say, icon guy?
Icon.
You can't. Never been you so long.
I have the ability to turn people on.
Sashay down there and vote for this amendment. Officially weird.
From one year to the next are the same.
YouTube, hello, welcome to the Keith Edwards Show live. I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. And I'm so grateful that we have got through another weekend, and let's just get some music going because it's Tuesday and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Yes. So thank you so much. Hey everyone, this is I think we had the largest waiting room ever. And thank you, Tom, who's saying I am a Dutch guy living in France and a fan of your channel. I like your point of view. Thank you, Tom. I love the French. And Markel Cunningham says, love your content, Keith. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Well, I love you all for being here. I mean, this is only possible because of each and every one of you. So thank you all so much for being here today, being with me. And, just some quick updates. We have a Facebook page. I know not everyone loves Facebook, and I understand not everyone likes Mark Zuckerberg. I don't like him either, but Facebook is the largest social network in the world. And so I think it's important to be there to reach as many people as possible and spread this pro-democracy message. So if you're on Facebook, hit like, you'll see content there that you can't see anywhere else. And we are also on Spotify. We're on Spotify. So please go over there, hit follow, and review us. Give us a 5-star review. I think that helps. I think it helps. All right. And then I'm not going to forget this time. There's first time seeing my live stream. Oh, Diane, can we all give a shout out to Diane? Her first time here. Diane, W's in the chat for Diane. First time in the live stream. So glad you're here. I hope you'll come again. We're here every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. And then Diane, you're going to be so excited because not every time, but we're doing it pretty often. Almost every show, we do a pop quiz. And so today's no different. We're doing a pop quiz, and I don't have the hat on me, but it is for a free democracy hat. So how this works is we're going to ask a question. It will be a multiple choice. Of those who answer, we will select one person who will win, and we will send you over a hat. So let us get into that question, shall we? The music. All right. This is going to be important for later. So which of the following substances was not added to milk by shady producers before the FDA existed? Said another way, which of the following substances, before the FDA existed, producers of milk used to add these substances to milk? But which one did they not add? A, water, B, glue, C, formaldehyde, D, chalk. A, water, B, glue, C, formaldehyde, D, chalk. All right, let's let everyone get their answers in. Now, please do not leave, because if you leave and we select you, which has happened, then you don't get your prize. So stay to the end where we're going to answer this. Yeah, we'll answer it. Okay. And so so for the stories we'll pause that music. All right. And all right. So the first thing I want to get into, the main stories we're going to hit today are that Trump is backing down from his tariffs. Caroline Leavitt, I think, kind of gave the game away on where they're going to try to push the blame onto someone else. The FDA is suspending milk quality tests. Yeah, which goes back to our pop quiz question. And there's this amazing Bernie Sanders video that shows the Republicans that he has won over. And I think it just is a really important thing that we pay attention to, that what's happening in our country is starting to go across party lines, and people are starting to see it regardless of which way they usually vote. Okay, but first I want to just show, I saw this on TikTok yesterday. There's this young lady running for Congress, and I think it's so great that young people are running for Congress, and young people who know how to use the internet are running for Congress. And that's going to be so important as we try to move forward as a party, because we actually need to figure out how to reach people in authentic ways. That's besides the point, but I just thought this was just a very heartwarming piece, and I wanted to share it with you.
Wow. I'm making the first door knock of my congressional campaign. My name's Deja Fox. I'm 25 years old, and I'm running for Congress in Southern Arizona. And we're here at my mom's house. Hello? I'm here with Fox for Arizona. I'm just checking to see if you're a registered voter in CD7. What do you think?
I just came from the print shop. Sorry to have a camera on you.
You ready to go door knocking?
I am.
That's you. You're on it. Did you see?
It's my baby. No.
Oh my God, that made me emotional again. That wasn't my first time seeing it, and that made me emotional again. God, that is so powerful. And this is what it's about, is like, what I love about that is she just said, you know what? I think I can make the country better. I think I can help. And she just started doing it. She started doing it. And so let that just be a lesson to all of us, that we can all make a change. And it just takes with each and every one of us deciding how we want to do it. But the only one stopping you from making a change in your life and your country and your own community is yourself. So don't gatekeep yourself. Don't gatekeep the progress that can be had in your own life. And I just love that video. All right. So JD Vance met with the Pope. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but JD Vance met with the Pope. The Pope didn't want to meet with JD Vance. And then JD Vance ended up meeting with the Pope. And then the next day, when, you know, God rest his soul, the Pope died. And we need more people like the Pope in this world who were actually standing up to fascists in a time when fascism is really just on the upswing. Strong men are popping up all over the world, certainly in this country. The Pope spoke about the actual ideals of Christianity, and he was an immigrant. He defended immigrants until the day he passed away. And I just think it's just very sad that JD Vance is one of the last people who saw him. And we have actually a clip here of what may have happened a day ago.
So good to see you. Happy Easter to you, Charlie, Father. I know you've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health. And thank you for seeing me. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America. Pray for you every day. Said thank you once. Said thank you once.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that's real footage. I think that's what happened. Liz says I 100% believe that is real footage. Listen, I'm just showing you what we receive. And I have to believe I'm seeing with my own eyes. JD Vance, I mean, listen, if I can advise you one thing, do not meet with JD Vance. Do not meet with JD Vance. All right, let's go to this first main story where Trump was holding one of his press conferences, not a press conference things, and he backed down from the tariff stuff. And I have to say that this is just like, I don't know how any country is going to respect him or us when he makes threats that he doesn't actually stand up to. He doesn't actually live up to. Let's see this clip.
Today, Treasury Secretary Dustin suggested that with the tariff rates as high as they are now, it's effectively an embargo of trade between the United States and China. Do you see that?
That's true. 145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It got up to there. We were talking about fentanyl, where, various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high. It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to be very good to China, have a great relationship with President Xi, but they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made, so that won't happen. But they're going to do very well, and I think they're going to be happy, and I think we're going to live together very happily and ideally work together. So I think it's going to work out very well. But no, it's at 145%. It will not be anywhere near that number.
God. So it was 145%, and it's like it could go even higher. And now it's like, I don't think it's going to be that high. I mean, China must be looking at us and the rest of the world and thinking like, wow, how did we get so lucky? He's an idiot. I mean, and also with the TikTok ban, he originally wanted to ban it. We signed a law to ban it, and now it's not being, it's banned, but they keep delaying the ban. Do you think China is scared of Trump and his threats? I'm not a parent. I remember being a kid, and I will say that one of the ways to guarantee your kid doesn't actually respect you is to not follow through on the things you say you're going to do. So if you say you're not getting any dessert, if you don't do your homework, and the kid doesn't do its homework and they still get the dessert, is that kid going to think the threat is real the next time? No, of course not. And sorry to compare China to a child, but it's the same philosophy that if you're not making good on your threats, then people aren't going to believe you. They're not going to be scared of you. It's just, to me, like such a big sign that this administration is rudderless. They have no idea what they're doing. Someone posted today that we shouldn't be scared because, yes, the GOP and the far right have spent, let's say, like 4 years working on what they wanted to do for the first 100 days, but they don't have a blueprint after that. They knew what they wanted to go in, what they wanted to destroy, what they wanted to pass, and now they're like, wait, we have to govern for 4 years? And I think we're seeing that happen in real time. Also, let us just look at because I think this is where this is all headed. Caroline Leavitt kind of gave the game away. Caroline Leavitt, who I don't know how she doesn't just like explode from from the cross on her chest. She wears this goddamn cross, and she just lies nonstop. That's beside the point. But Caroline Leavitt gave this long-winded answer, and we're not gonna watch all of it, but let's watch some of it because I have a thought about what they're actually setting up these next couple of weeks.
I'll have to ask him, and I'll get back to you, Phil. Thank you, Caroline. You're welcome. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Some economic questions for you. Kevin Hassett has been a key economic advisor to the president in both of his terms. In 2022...
And he still is.
And he still is.
He was just in my office.
Absolutely. In 2022, he said, that the independence of the Fed is super important. That's a direct quote. Is that something that the president subscribes to? Does he still believe in the independence of the Federal Reserve?
Well, look, I think the president has made his position on the Fed and on Powell quite clear. The president believes that they have been making moves and taking action in the name of politics rather in the name of what's right for the American economy. The president has the right to express his displeasure with the Fed, and he has the right to say he believes interest rates should be lower. He believes Americans should be able to borrow money cheaper than they currently are right now. And I also spoke to Kevin Hassett about the Fed as well, and he has called into question the Fed's independence and whether they are actually doing things, again, out of the best interest of the economy, or are they doing it for partisan reasons? The president wants to see interest rates lower. He has made that quite clear.
We've also seen, if I may, I'm sorry, one more, Caroline, just about, I said 2 economic questions, about the dollar. We've seen the dollar.
All right. So we're going to go to that second one. Someone very smartly noticed that the cross was not on her, and they said it might be because it was burning her skin. I don't know. That certainly would make sense to me. But let us just talk about what they're doing here, because here's what they're doing. Donald Trump has created an economy. We had one of the best economies in the world. It was truly the envy of the world. The Economist had a magazine cover saying just that. We were the envy of the world with the economy we had created post-COVID and through Joe Biden's policies and his investments in America. And in less than 3 months, Donald Trump has destroyed it. And we are facing recession. Prices are going down. Prices are going up. The stock market is going down because of Donald Trump's insane tariff idea that he's been thinking about since the 80s. And the thing is happening that everyone said would happen, which is that it is destroying the economy and it is creating chaos in the world economy. And so what they're doing here is they're trying to create a fall man. They would never, ever, ever say that what they're doing is hurting us. But what they will do is they will create a new Anthony Fauci. And Anthony Fauci became the reason why COVID was bad, when Anthony Fauci is a career civil servant who has worked his whole life trying to make Americans healthier and to prepare us for the next pandemic. And I think Powell is the same way, where he is a person who is showing up. I think he has good intentions and is doing a good job. And because of that, the Donald Trump and his administration are going to put their focus on him. They want to keep him around. Now, there's been all this debate about whether or not they're going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. They need him there. One, because he helps make the market stable. But two, they need someone to blame for when things go bad. And they're going bad. We may be heading towards a recession. The stock market is down lower than it's ever been before. I believe we've hit like one of the lowest points since like 1932. Congratulations, Donald Trump. And so they're going to need someone to blame. And I think that's where this is heading, is that they're going to start saying Powell is the reason why the economy is crashing, because he's actually being responsible, unlike Donald Trump. Trump session, says Peter. Absolutely. Absolutely. Put it, tattoo it. I'm going to tattoo it on myself. Trump session. All right, for the next one, let's just go to the browser. Okay. So as I said in the beginning, the USDA has decided to suspend milk quality tests amid workforce cuts. So I don't want to like fearmonger, but I actually genuinely believe that some of our food is not going to be safe now. And so just keep that in mind when you are grocery shopping. Let's just talk about this. The Food and Drug Administration is suspending a quality control program for testing of fluid, milk, and other dairy products due to reduced capacity in its Food Safety and Nutrition Division, according to an internal email seen by Reuters. 20,000 employees of the Department of Health and Human Services have already been terminated. 20,000 people. The FDA this month also suspended existing developing programs that ensured accurate testing for bird flu in milk and cheese and pathogens like parasite Cyclospora and other foods. So we are making our food less safe in Trump's administration. The FDA's proficiency testing programs ensure consistency and accuracy across the nation's network of food safety laboratories. Laboratories also rely on these quality control tests to meet standards for accreditation. Oops. Oh, do you hear that? And I live in a city, so there is some city stuff happening outside. But so this is like very, very, very scary stuff, that the food we eat is not going to be going through the testing that it once was. And this is just what they found out because of an email. My thing is like, what else are they not testing for that we're not aware of? You know? What does someone say? What a disaster. We need our food checked by the FDA. Yes, this is very bad. And I don't think it's getting enough attention. It's not getting enough attention. And I have to say that I'm not getting a lot of confidence from our current Department of Health and Human Services, who earlier today had a press conference that went terribly. And he said this.
And these are a broad category, the ones that Marty mentioned, like ADHD, the neurological disorders, ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, and autism. All of these are injuries that I never heard of when I was a kid. They were not part of the nomenclature. They weren't part of the dialogue. There was zero spent in this country treating chronic disease when my uncle was president. Today it's about $1.8 trillion annually. It's bankrupting our nation. 74% of American kids cannot qualify for military service. Well, how are we going to maintain our global leadership with such a sick population? We have all these autoimmune diseases, these exotic diseases. And again, I never heard of juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Crohn's disease, and 100 others.
Okay, so he's saying because he did not hear about those diseases when he was a kid, that there's something wrong with the fact that those diseases exist now. This is the person who's deciding whether or not the milk should be tested. Let's just break it down for a second. One, some of those, we might not have had accurate testing in the 50s and 60s when it came to lupus and ADHD and autism. Okay, our testing got better and we had a broader idea of what it means to have those conditions, which, by the way, people live with, and they live happy and very fulfilled lives. So the fact that he's like, well, I never heard of it, means that there's some problem because they exist now is insane. This is an insane thing to say out loud to millions of people. Those diseases have existed for years. They just didn't have names. Exactly. RFK Jr. Seems to think because he didn't know about it, and now that it exists, it somehow can't be real. This is what happens when you have conspiracy theorists running our government, is they start to engage in conspiracy. PTSD didn't exist until after Vietnam either. Oh, that's a really good point, Carol. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like science is not static, and science can learn, it can make mistakes, but it's always heading towards truth. And folks like that don't like truth. They want to make it so that truth is only one version of the truth. That worm ate the whole thing. I actually forget about the worm. The worm thing is just insane to me. It's insane to me. All right. So just to recap, please, just, if you can, be extra considerate about the foods you buy and what you put into your body, because I just don't personally believe we can trust the federal government the way that we used to make sure that the produce we eat is healthy. Okay. Now, switching gears here, let's go to something a little bit more positive. This is a longer video, but I wanted to show all of it. Is that Bernie Sanders, if you don't know, Bernie Sanders is doing these incredible rallies with AOC all across the country. They are drawing crowds larger than Bernie Sanders ever had during either of his presidential runs. And they're drawing all types of different types of people. So independents, progressives, liberals, moderates, and Republicans. And the Sanders campaign, I guess it's not a campaign, but the Sanders political team released a video interviewing Republicans who went to his rally and why they thought it was important that they were there. And I want to show you that to you right now.
Sure, there's a lot of things you disagree with Senator Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on. Is there anything you agree with them on?
I think that they believe in this country. I like politically, I believe we have a different method in why we believe and how we want to get it. But I don't doubt that they don't care about the country.
I came down here to understand, essentially. I want very much to see the Democratic Party come back strong. As far as Sanders is concerned, ideologically, I don't align with him. However, he's proven to be an able politician. Okay, he has also too done what he could as a senator to keep us from being engaged in too many wars. So I certainly would go ahead and give him credit for that. Again, his vision of the country and mine do differ. But the fact that they're here and they're willing to go ahead and explain their position to people, I believe is important. I think it's going to lead to understanding. It's going to lead to more discussion.
This is the first political I've ever gone to. I worked in agriculture, and we're going to lose a lot. Nobody's talking about hardly, but we're going to lose a lot of markets probably, because once other countries don't buy here, they're going to buy from Argentina, Brazil, top 1 and 2 corn and soybean, and it's going to hurt the farmers here. It's something like I've taught my children. When someone lies all the time, you never know when they're lying and when they're not. And we have a good case of that right now with Mr. Trump. And but Bernie Sanders, I like him because he's recognizing things a lot of people aren't. He's bringing it out and he's working hard. He doesn't have to do this. He's working hard to help people understand what's going on.
The conservatives became something that no one should recognize. They became hateful, racist people. And that's not me. We're here to help everybody. We're here to help each other. There's no reason in the world to be exclusive of anyone. Who cares who you love? Who cares what color you are? Who cares what your eyes look like? We're supposed to be in this together. And the conservatives are no longer in this together.
And look, it's going to take all of us. It can't just be one side or the other. We're going to have to come together, put our differences aside, and do what's best for the American people.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, isn't it incredible to hear Republicans talk about our country in such a stark way, and the way that a very progressive, I guess he's an independent, but he caucuses with the Democrats, a very progressive politician doing what he can to try to make the country better. It's just incredible. Love seeing the Republicans. I missed that. We love seeing the Republicans joining the fight. Yeah, we are in this together. Exactly. And it just reminds me, and it made me feel very hopeful, that we are one country under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all, not for Donald Trump, for all. We're not one country under Donald Trump, one country under God, indivisible. God, I sound like a conservative. It's crazy how things have changed in the last 10 years. It's crazy. Meanwhile, Byron Donalds an actual MAGA Republican, was getting eaten up in his own backyard. I don't know why Republicans are doing these town halls. I'm grateful they're doing them because it's great content. I could fall asleep to a soundtrack of Republicans getting booed, and I would go out like a light within seconds. But Byron Donalds got booed over Doge and everything else that's been going on with the country because he is literally just a rubber stamp for all of it. And let's go through some of these clips. They're very
Don't move. Are you ready? You ready for the other half of it? The previous president, President Biden. So you do not want to hear the full story. You don't want to hear the full story. Allow me to educate and bring you the full story. And when you're ready, I'm going to tell you, because I don't want you to yell and not hear the full story. Because I may not listen. You're yelling. Here we go. I'm going to tell you the full story. Here's the full story. The previous administration, Joe Biden, he authorized 53 students to have access to the same database during his administration. 53. He authorized 53 students to have access to the Social Security database. And I didn't hear anybody being upset when Joe Biden authorized that. So how could you be upset when it's that versus Elon Musk? That is not true. Again, if you're going to have a conversation about policy, then answer the question. Chanting is not going to let me answer the question. Donald Trump authorized Elon Musk to have access. I agree with that. Do you know who else agrees with it? Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden gave similar access to 53 students during his administration.
Brilliant. You're losing when you're saying, but Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden's not the goddamn president. And from what I understand, why are you doing things if Joe Biden, why are you doing something Joe Biden wanted to do? I don't think that's actually what's happening, but Joe Biden is not the reason why the country is the way that it is right now. In fact, Joe Biden did a great job defending our country during one of the worst crises in multiple generations. And I just love the sound of Republicans getting booed by their own constituents. It's very healing. I think let's have more of that.
What the Doge is doing is they're examining the records. They're providing their findings. Congress has to weigh in on those.
They're firing people!
If you're just upset because Donald Trump has Elon Musk doing it, then that doesn't make any sense.
They're leaving.
We have to agree on certain things.
Have you read the book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson?
Have you read the book about it?
Caste.
Whoa, stop. Don't educate me about my life, sir. Don't do that. Don't, sir. Hold on. What? Please, hear me on this.
Unhinged.
I like how everybody's shouting at me, the black guy on stage with the microphone in his hand, saying, have you read this book? Don't marginalize my life and what I've done. Don't do that. Don't marginalize.
Oh my God. It's so bad. That is so bad. I cannot believe he's so aggressive with his constituents who are mad. I mean, he's not going to get voted out because he's in a ruby red district. He's running for governor though. And I hope that he doesn't. Well, do I hope he makes it past the primary? Because maybe then we have a better shot of winning. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't hope he makes it. I just don't want him to become governor of Florida. And then he's one step closer to running for president. Let's not let that happen. Let's just get some tomatoes in the chat because I know we didn't do tomato time. We haven't done a couple of episodes, but let's just get some tomatoes in the chat. Let's throw them at Byron Donalds. That's what they should have been doing in the audience, throwing produce at him. And now produce is very expensive now. So it is actually a very expensive way to troll someone, but I think it's worth it. Byron Donalds can just go to hell. All right, we are nearing the end of the show, so let us go to the pop quiz. Let's go to the pop quiz. Music? Pop quiz music? There we go. Okay. And oh yeah, we do have a title card. Awesome. Okay, let's see the question. Okay. Now, this is what happened before we had an FDA, which by the way, we have now, but they're neutering. So this is why the FDA is important. That's why we have this question here. Okay. So which of the following substances was not added to milk by shady producers before the FDA existed? So in other words, 3 of these 4 things were added to milk by people who produced milk before the FDA started to check all this shit. A, water, B, glue, C, formaldehyde, D, chalk. A, water, B, glue, C, formaldehyde, D, chalk. And the answer is B, glue. B, glue. All right. And there's a bunch of you who got it right. Can you believe it? They used to add formaldehyde to milk and chalk. But they didn't add glue. They didn't add glue. And that's why we have an FDA. So an FDA is kind of important. All right. So the answer was B. And the winner of the Keith Edwards Show pop quiz is Trance K Blade. Trance K Blade, are you here? You have won. Are you here? Could we get a shout out to Trance if he is in the chat? He's here. Yes, or he or she. All right, great. Congratulations, Trance. And all right, so I believe we have all right. There are 2 things you could do. You could either you can DM me on Instagram, which is my name, Keith Edwards, and I will connect you to our producer. You could also email keithsdebateclub@gmail.com and say, hey, I'm the winner for the democracy hat. Please connect me with your producer. Or you can also text this number, 202-810-4379. 202-810-4379. Just let me know what you do, Trance, and we are going to get you a hat. Congratulations. And I'm so glad that an FDA exists. And let's real quick before we end the show, let us give a shout out to Monica, who became a member of the show. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining up and becoming a member. I really appreciate that. And I also did see this. Let us just real fast. Peter, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much for your support. That's so generous. Thank you so much. And this has been a great show. Really fun hanging out with all of you. I'm going to see. Let's see here. Okay, awesome. So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And we are going to end with a meme of the song that was written for Pete Hegseth. And I hope you enjoy it because it's a bop and it's going to be stuck in your head. And I will see you on Friday at 7 p.m. Which, by the way, let me show this. Very exciting. Friday at 7 p.m. where David Hogg is going to be a guest. David Hogg, yes, DNC vice chair, is going to be coming on talking about, he has this idea of primarying Democrats. I'm going to ask him about that. Ask him about his role as DNC vice chair and anything else you want to ask. So excited to have him on. Please come 7 p.m. Eastern this Friday. I'm very, very excited. I'm glad you got all excited too. I'm very excited about that one. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Thanks so much, everyone. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Pete's drinking at the Pentagon. He's getting hammered in the Pentagon. Yeah, there's never a lack of bottles of Jack, but it's a little tight when he's calling airstrikes. Wasted in the Pentagon. Cancer bottles came and went, they're gone. It did not go right for Coors Light when there's been no more time for the old Corona line. So stick with us and you're set. Our war plan shared in the Signal chat. It'll be like any administration, except way more public intoxication. Training Henny at the Pentagon. Sipping bourbon, we are so far gone. And our faces flush through every rush. The tweets get so discordant, but your vision is so distorted. Drinking at the Pentagon. So glad that we're all trashed at the Pentagon. All the Houthi PC groups get confused, cause Pete blew through the booze like he's back at Fox News. Cause like you just blacked out on the job and texted secret war plans to everyone.
Bitch, you hit the Pentagon.